We're definitely gonna try and do better. You know, I'm doing the best I can. Dell and I are doing the best we can. Having one kid is so much easier than having two. And go ahead and subscribe to the channel, dude. I had the baby almost 2 months ago. Okay, so if you don't know by now, our newborn's baby, our newborn, I can't talk. Words mean things. Shoot. Ow! So, anyways, if you guys don't know by now, we are having a boy. We were having a boy. I was due September 16th, and let's get right on into it. So, when I found out I was pregnant, with Kingston-Delton Scott, his name is here. We were very excited. However, one of the things that concerned my OBGYN was the size of my daughter. She was 8'6", and that's kind of big for your first baby. And as you have more children, they tend to get bigger. And it also depends on what the weight of the mother and the father were when they were born as well. So, it was just one of those things that concerned him, my OBGYN. Very good doctor, so I wasn't really concerned about what he was going to suggest. So on the 16th, I went to the doctor, and I'm thinking like, oh, he's going to send me to the hospital because I'm going to be 3 centimeters and we can get this going. Because I had went to the hospital once. No, I had contractions all night one night, and then I had the doctor's appointment the next day, and I was 2 centimeters, and I was fully effaced. So I just assumed I was gonna have the baby. I had already lost my mucus plug. I was just like excited. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have this baby. I got there, and he's like, oh, so baby, you're still 2 centimeters. You're fully effaced. And I had been walking. Like, I went to Apple Hill. I did castor oil. I drank castor oil for probably nearly a week. And I went to the hospital once. And they were like, yeah, you're having contractions. They're just not big enough. I'm like, what? How can they not be big enough? What? So whatever. So on the 16th, he scheduled my induction, and he said, but first we're going to do an ultrasound, because if the baby is about if he's 10 pounds showing on the ultrasound, we're going to have to consider our options as far as whether you're going to have him vaginally or if you're going to have cesarean. And I'm like, I have a cesarean. I mean, I'm going to have a vaginally. I'm pushing him out, you know? And so my mom had took me to that appointment. Dale was working, and so she was like, you need to cope with a cesarean. And I'm like, cope with a cesarean? Girl, no. So we get there on the 20th, which is actually the day after my birthday, and my sister's birthday, my older sister Tiffany's birthday. Hey, Godiva, shouts out to you. We have fun. So we went ahead and sorry, I'm all moving. So we went ahead, and Kingston is asleep, sorry. So had the ultrasound, but before I had the ultrasound, the nurse had fed me. Y'all, I'm getting induced, and I'm like, oh, I haven't had a baby in 5 years. You guys are gonna feed me before y'all induce me, but I'm hungry, so I'm like, yeah, let's eat. I get the ultrasound, and Dell reads the ultrasound because we had to walk down and walk back up. So he's reading it, he's all, dude is 10.5 pounds. I'm like, no, he's not. He shows it to me, and I'm like, 10.5 pounds? What? And then so my doctor calls me on the room phone that we were scheduled to be in, and he said, so if you want to still have the baby vaginally, I do need you to sign a form saying that, you waive all of, like, basically I won't sue them if something happens to his shoulder. I can't think of the name of what it's called when it happens. I'll have it down here. But he said, because that can happen because birth canal is not, big enough to push. It's big enough to push a baby out, but you can definitely harm the baby. And so I immediately started crying. That's why you guys don't have a labor and delivery, like an actual video vlog. You guys don't have that because I was a basket case. But there'll be pictures at the end. So anyways, I was completely, like, my heart, because I had prayed, and everyone else around me was praying for God's will be done. But I was just like, no, God, I need a vaginal birth. I need a healthy baby here. I want to have a vaginal birth, and so a lot of times God tells you to get out of the way and let him do what he needs to do. And so that's the part I felt like I was being chastised in the hospital by God while I was in the bed. Because the whole month the whole weeks leading up to Kingston coming, I was just like trying to press. I was like, I don't want to be pregnant on my birthday. I want to have him on this day. Like, I had it all worked out, and God was like, no, Brittany, get out the way. And so, of course, my mom was like, girl, you already knew you had to have a cesarean. Like, stop crying. Tell him yes. And so, I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and do the cesarean. But remember, my nurse fed me. My nurse fed me before the ultrasound. And so I was like, okay. And then he said, well, what time did you eat? And so, but he said, I'll just call your nurse and schedule it. I said, okay. So they come back. Remind you, I got there at 7 in the morning. They said, okay, so we're going to schedule your cesarean for 5:30. Excuse me? I'm here now. You guys can cut me open. No, ma'am, you ate. No, but you fed me. I only ate because you guys fed me. And so around like 12, so we're in the room, my mom and Dell, we're in the room chilling, watching movies. They had like a whole nice selection. I was chilling. So Mercy General Hospital downtown in Sacramento. If you guys ever want to have baby there, it's amazing because they're better than Netflix. They have like all the red box hits. Like, come on. So we're watching Beauty and the Beast, and all of a sudden, while I was watching the movies, they were monitoring me. They were still gonna monitor me because I was in the hospital, definitely giving birth. Like, they need to keep monitoring. But they told me, like, if you need to, you can unbuckle the thing and get off the monitor, for like 5-10 minutes at a time. And I'm like, okay. But they were keeping track up front at the nurse's station. So my last month of being pregnant, I was always having contractions. So I was just like, okay. But these were different contractions. These were the same kind of contractions I went to the hospital for the week before, So I'm like, oh. So I'm watching a movie, and my mom and Dale, they both look at me like, oh, you having contractions? Okay. And they keep watching the movie. But this contraction wouldn't stop. It lasted about 4 minutes straight. And I was just like, something ain't right, y'all. Like, I kept saying that, and I was like grabbing on the bed. And I'm like, no, something's not right. And my mom's like, what? My mom looks over at me because she had just said, oh, I'm going to go get something to eat. And her and Dale had talked about it or whatever. And he's like, he had came back with a salad before. And so they were trading off watching me. So my mom, she's grabbing her stuff, and she's like, you'll be fine. Next thing you know, she's walking out the door. The nurse is rushing past her. And they all lay me back. One nurse gets on top of me and is like trying to check the contraction, and she's like, she's been having they're talking in their own doctor lingo, but after it all stopped, they finally advised my family, like, oh, she's been having a contraction for about 4 minutes. It lasted a total of 7. And so they had to give me a shot to stop my contractions because, of course, I had a scheduled cesarean that was supposed to happen that night. They did not want to have an emergency cesarean because I could aspirate to death, meaning I could choke on my food that I ate hours ago. Whatever. So, but that had kept happening before they gave me the shot. So they were like, okay, we gave you a shot. You're not going to have any more contractions. If you do feel them, let us know. And at that point, it was just kind of scary. And Dale was just like, he had told me before I agreed to having the cesarean that, we all gonna leave here together. We were just all kind of like, whew, that was scary. And so I was like, okay, now I'm gonna get some sleep. And so, 4:30 came about. They came and started prepping me for the surgery. It was, y'all know, I mean, like, I knew where the line is for the cesarean. I didn't know they shave you down there, like, completely. Like, first off, no thank you. Second off, the grow back is bad. Sorry, that's just a whole nother story. So anyway, so at 5:30 they started. At 5:30 I was fully ready. My doctor wasn't there. He was stuck in traffic. Why did he leave? Like, come on, dude. Like, what are you doing, Dr. Allen? So he finally gets there at 6. I'm set up already with the spinal tap. And so the room was very cold. And when I walked in, I was like, is this my nerves or is this really cold like that? And they were like, oh, yeah, it's cold in here. You know, we don't want anybody to get sick. That's how they keep it. And I was like, it feels like it's like 40 degrees. Like, how are you going to birth a baby in this? So at 6:45 p.m. on September 20th, Kingston-Delton Scott was born. He is the most beautifulest baby ever. Everyone on Facebook is hilarious because we get comments like, oh, he looks like he smells good. He does smell good. It was like a natural scent for him. And he still has the scent and it hasn't gone away. He's definitely the love of my life. I love you too, Dale. Yeah, so he was born. He came out, well, he was pulled out of my belly, and he peed in the doctor's face. Poor doctor. They allowed 2 people to be in the room during the cesarean, which was amazing. Yeah, so this has been the most amazing, that's not a word, but it's been the best experience ever. As far as bringing a baby into the world. I'm just like grateful, you know, and I've taken a lot of time from like vlogging and stuff like that because like I'm just sitting back and I'm looking at all of my blessings that God's given me, even when I'm undeserving. And so yeah, so I'll introduce you guys to Kingston-Delton Scott finally. But if you follow me on Snapchat, there goes that Snapchat name again down here. If you follow me on Snapchat, you've already met him. He has personality already. He is asleep. Y'all probably hear these birds chirping. There's no birds in my house. This is this device that keeps him quiet when his sister ain't here. So I'm going to show you guys Kingston-Delton Scott. Y'all see that head full of hair? Yeah. There's the Kingston-Delton Scott. He was 9 pounds, 12 ounces. Ooh, he's so heavy. 9 pounds, 12 ounces. See, yeah, he ain't here for it. I'm gonna put you back. And he is the greatest, one of the greatest gifts God's given our family. And so, thank you guys so much for watching the labor and delivery story. I hope you guys had fun. I'm glad to tell you guys about the labor and delivery story. And up next will be the 1 month update. Love y'all to the morning back.